Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are right here on the Diplomat Couch, and I'm joined by His Excellency. So, Your Excellency, my other question would be the key engagements at the FOCAC Summit and 10 partnership actions for modernization. The FOCAC Summit, under the theme Joining Hands to Advance Modernization and build a community with a shared future, saw numerous high-level engagements. Can you share some key highlights from this summit and their implications for Zimbabwe, as one of the summit's critical outcomes was the unveiling of 10 partnership actions designed to deepen China-Africa cooperation and accelerate modernization in the global south. Maybe if you could elaborate on this initiative and its potential impact.
Well, this year's FOCAC Beijing Summit was a big success. It was joined by Chinese leaders and 53 African countries' leaders. And it has sent a powerful message of China and African countries pursuing common development and demonstrated the global South's unwavering confidence in unity and cooperation. President Xi Jinping proposed that China and Africa should advance modernization that is just and equitable, that is open and win-win, that put people first, that features diversity and inclusiveness, that is eco-friendly, and that is underpinned by peace and security. Leaders of both China and African countries, including Zimbabwe, His Excellency President Mnangagwa, also agreed on the 10 partnership actions to advance our modernization in the next 3 years, covering the areas of mutual learning, trade, prosperity, industrial chain, connectivity, development cooperation, health, agriculture and people's livelihood, people-to-people exchanges, green development, and common security. So it's very, very comprehensive. The proposal and the action plan perfectly align with President Mnangagwa's mantra of leaving no one and no place behind, and Zimbabwe's ambition to realize modernization, industrialization, and Vision 2030.
Your Excellency, on the issue of modernization and global South collaboration, in his keynote speech, President Xi Jinping stated that the joint pursuit of modernization by China and Africa would initiate a wave of progress across the global of South, and while fostering a shared future for mankind. What is your perspective on this, particularly in relation to Africa's development?
Now we are living in a global village. Africa is the continent with the largest number of developing countries. A modernization without Africa is not a true modernization. A development without Africa is not a true development. China and Africa have the tradition of unity, and we always say that unity is strength. As another African proverb goes, if you want to go fast, go along. If you want to go far, go together. China and Africa together will continue to pursue self-driven development without external interference. We will continue to strive to keep our sovereignty and destiny firmly in our own hands. We believe that by uniting, sharing, and cooperating, we will create a win-win situation and achieve our common modernization together. And jointly, we will contribute to the rise of the Global South.
Interesting. Your Excellency, let's talk about the Belt and Road Initiative and the AU Agenda for 2063. How does the Belt and Road Initiative align with African Union's agenda of 2063 and the Sustainable Development Goals, with which are our SDGs? What synergies can be drawn from these frameworks to benefit Zimbabwe and the continent as a whole?
Well, the Belt and Road Initiative was proposed by China, by His Excellency President Xi Jinping in the year 2013. To chart new areas for international cooperation, the AU's Agenda 2063 and the UN SDGs proposed in 2015 set out a series of goals related to the development and greater prosperity of Africa and the whole world. These initiatives, as well as the Global Development Initiative, the Global Security Initiative, and the Global Civilization Initiative proposed by President Xi Jinping, complement and promote each other. They all adhere to the people-centered philosophy of development and the principle of wide consultation, joint contribution, and shared benefits. I believe that together these initiatives will expedite the economic and social development of African countries, including Zimbabwe, in the areas of trade and investment, poverty alleviation, food security, medical service, in infrastructure, connectivity, green development, and people-to-people bond. China and Zimbabwe have been cooperating closely in all these areas and have jointly achieved many good results. So the 10 partnership actions proposed during this just concluded FOCAC summit will surely inject new impetus to building a high-level China-Africa and high-level China-Zimbabwe community with a shared future.
Your Excellency, while we're still on the infrastructure connectivity in Zimbabwe, infrastructure development is a vital part of the partnership action for connectivity. How does this initiative enhance the significant infrastructure projects already underway in Zimbabwe, and what future projects can we anticipate?
Well, infrastructure is the pillar of a country's economic development. In China, we have a saying that goes, if you want to get rich, you build roads first. Okay. So as an old friend, good friend, and true friend of Zimbabwe, China has been actively participating in Zimbabwe's infrastructure building. In recent years, China has supported many infrastructure projects in Zimbabwe. The most important ones include the Robert Mugabe International Airport expansion project and the Wangi Thermal Power Station expansion project, which have been fully completed and handed over to Zimbabwe last year. The Victoria Falls International Airport upgrading project and the Kariba South Power Station expansion project were also financed by the Chinese government. As we all know that China has also built the magnificent new parliament building for our Zimbabwe friends and the national pharmaceutical warehouse that was completed during COVID. So these projects were also financed with Chinese government grant. Now the China Aid Phase 3 of Net1 mobile broadband upgrade project is progressing smoothly. And after completing 1,000 boreholes drilling project, another 300 boreholes project supported with Chinese government grants is being implemented. I am so glad to know that more than 400,000 people in total are benefiting from these boreholes. To further promote rural development and poverty reduction, we intend to build 100 solar-powered facilities and to upgrade multiple irrigation systems for Zimbabwe in the next couple of years. It will be mainly in rural area. So here I would also like to highlight the roles played by the Chinese business communities in Zimbabwe. They have also contributed tremendously to the improvement of infrastructure through their corporate social responsibility projects. They built roads, houses, boreholes, schools, libraries, clinics to benefit local communities, addressing infrastructure needs and energy deficits for local residents. I feel deeply encouraged by the fact that in the past 10 years, the Chinese companies in Zimbabwe have actually spent more than 100 million US dollars on more than 70 corporate social responsibility projects to benefit local communities.
Your Excellency, you know, when you're talking about all these advancements that the China community has done, one thing that is standing out for me has to be the new Parliament of Zimbabwe. That one is a stellar job. But Your Excellency, let's move on to the Chinese investments in Zimbabwe. You know, Chinese-led investments have played a significant role in deepening economic ties between our countries. Could you provide maybe an update on ongoing projects and, you know, how they contribute to Zimbabwe's economic development?
Well, China has remained Zimbabwe's largest source of foreign investment and major trading partners for many years. For that, we feel very, very proud. Over the past 5 years, Chinese enterprises have invested over $2 billion US dollars in Zimbabwe. Our bilateral trade volume reached a record high of $3.12 billion US dollars in the year 2023, with a year-on-year increase of 30%, which is very, very inspiring. Under the policy of Zimbabwe is open for business proposed by His Excellency President Mnangagwa, more and more Chinese companies have actually invested in Zimbabwe, making Chinese investment a vital force in boosting Zimbabwe's economy. Chinese enterprises have invested in sectors such as manufacturing, mining, tobacco farming, engineering, and transportation, etc. This investment introduced Zimbabwe's high-quality products into international market, bringing considerable forex earnings and tax revenue for the government, and also bring tens of thousands of job opportunities for Zimbabwe people. Many Chinese companies have also conducted technology transfers, and together they jointly promote Zimbabwe's competitiveness in the global economy. Well, let me just give you an example. The Dingxing Iron and Steel Company, which is also called DISCO in this country, invested by China's Qingshan Holding Group, one of the world's largest stainless steel producer, has started producing steel billet here, aiming to meet the entire region's construction steel demand. This is an exemplary project that expands the industrial chain and value addition in Zimbabwe. And also through open bidding on the international market, some Chinese enterprises have also invested in lithium mines and are revitalizing the resources that were long idled by some Western companies. For instance, the Sino mine-owned Bigita Minerals is committed to invest $400 million US dollars to build a lithium smelter in Zimbabwe, which will make Zimbabwe a key player of the battery industry in the world. In short, we can say that the Chinese private sector's contribution is enormous, and it is much appreciated by the Zimbabwe government and by the majority of the people here.
Well, indeed, Your Excellency. But what we're going to do is just going to take a short little water break. Then we're going to come back and talk about cultural exchanges, which I think is a very big issue. So make sure you stay tuned and don't go anywhere.